And we are back. Pokemon Black 2, Hardcore Nuzlocke, the run continues. We are making our way to the 7th gym against Drayden and his Dragon-type Pokemon. Let's dive right in. For our reversal mountain first encounter, it is going to be the chubby Grumpig, chuck the Dust Ball, and secure it. And then for our strange house encounter, the little haunted house where you can get the dust stone, we run into the Eradicate, throw the dust ball, and secure yet another first encounter. All right, we are about to leave Reversal Mountain and we run into Jared and Kumiko, my boys, right here, right now. This is just a fun battle. Just wanted to showcase some really fun dynamics and back and forth. Nothing bad's going to happen. Nothing bad is going to happen. Durza and Angela come out here. It's going to be an Emolga and Zeebstrika versus Bulldor and Golbat. It's a 6v4. We've got this in the bag. We're just seeing what we need to do here because Golbat does have access to that acrobatics, so our fighting types are in danger, and Bulldor potentially could have a ground type move that could threaten the Zebra. So really just mulling over the team, looking at the best options available to navigate this double battle, as they threw out a really good complementary pair, being a rock and then a poison flying. That's just a good combo to have. And so after looking at the statistics and what I want to do, I do believe we are going to go down onto the Golbat here with the Spark, pop things off, and because we also have to play around Bulldor's Sturdy. So if we double down there and leave the Golbat out, who knows? But we do get a nice Volt Switch off. I'm going to get Angela to safety just in case Bulldor gets a ground type move off. And now we swap into Roarin, the bulky water type here. Definitely a good swap, I think. And then the Golbat gets absolutely obliterated by the flying Chipmunk. You'll love to see it. So the Smackdown comes down. That is super effective stab onto the Chipmunk, and I didn't even foresee the rock type move there. Even though Bulldor is rock, I was so afraid of the Zebra getting hit with the ground type move. But then the Darmanitan comes down, is definitely threatening with that stab fire. But we do have Roarin out there ready. However, Surf in Gen 5 does hit your teammate, and I really don't have anyone on the team that can tank a Surf, and this is really where things are starting to get out of hand. So I'm looking at this and going, you know what, Roarin's probably going to be the best person on the team, so let's go ahead and Acid Armor up and just completely max out that defense, as I don't think the enemy is going to be able to pose much threat at all. But having now a fighting and rock type, the enemy is doing a great job of balancing out the typings, and I opt in to get rid of the rock. We get rid of Bulldor, we get Durza to safety, so a little 2-for-1 combo there. You'll love to see that. Get some level ups as well. But now someone else is going to have to come out here and take on the Smiling Fire guy, and it looks like we might go for Arya, get the Intimidate down, and just try to keep us a little bit safer, as Darmanitan's physical attack is beautiful, and the Thrash comes down onto Roarin, and Roarin tanks that no problem. The Vaporeon absolutely laughing at that damage, but then an Excadrill comes down, and that is some insane offensive willpower, if you will. And unfortunately, the Intimidate went off before the Excadrill came down, so we're having flashbacks of Clay right now, and that is not pretty. So now we're against a Ground Steel and a Fire typing, so the water is absolutely beautiful, but again, you're hitting your own team with the Surf, so it's like, do we sacrifice? What do we do? And then the second option for Roarin is going to be the Ice type Aurora Beam, which isn't an Ice Beam yet. So the Thrash actually gets moved over to Arya, the Crocodile. I'm sorry, the Krokorok. It's not even the Crocodile yet. And we barely live the Thrash. Really tough stuff. If the Intimidate didn't come down to our Manatee, I might have just killed the Crocodile. I thought it was locked in to the Vaporeon. I didn't realize he could move it over to the other teammate here. We get a really crucial bulldoze down onto the two enemies, but I'm still afraid that they're going to outspeed given the bulldoze. So now I'm kind of like, do we roll that? Do we go for the Surf and potentially have someone else tank that? What do I do here? If I swap into Angela, a ground type move might be threatening. I don't know. Nasuda, the Gigalith is looking pretty good with Sturdy as well. But look at Aragon, literally one level away from being the Emboar. That could have been the difference. Like, there's just so many different factors coming in here. And it's like, do you roll the Bulldoze? I feel like both of my guys are still too slow. because Excadrill is deceptively fast, and I'm pretty sure Darmanitan is not the slowest. I don't think he's the fastest either, but you got to watch out for that as well. So a lot of thought going in. If Durza wasn't hurting so bad, he would definitely be my go-to, but definitely paying the price. So really trying to figure out who is going to come out here, and it does look like I'm going to pick Gigalith and try to cheese a sturdy play, throw Gigalith out, get the Surf off, potentially go faster than the other two, and then tank it with the Surf. So even if Surf crits, our Gigalith will be fine. So we go all in. Nasuda comes down, and look at this. The Darmanitan is still faster than the Vaporeon and smacks Gigalith with a Thrash, and then Gigalith tanks a Slash. But wait for it. Roarin', the Vaporeon stab, super effective, kills my own Gigalith. It does take out both opposing Pokemon, but my gosh, at what cost? We literally lose Gigalith. Amazing. A fantastic rock-type Pokemon, so much physical damage and physical defense, very lacking on the special, but I just put myself into a position where the team comp could not compensate the opposing Pokemon, and I literally kill my own Pokemon like that. You don't see that. However, we do manage to save the Krokorok, so we do get rewarded with the Crocodile, but my gosh, not worth it in the end, I don't think. So we're really going to have to use this Crocodile to our advantage to make up for the loss of Gigalith. But yeah, let's take that, keep going to the gym, and see if we can recover from that terrible showing. After making it out of Reversal Mountain, we run into our rival Hugh, and he sends out the Pheasant. We are looking so much better now that we've got back to the PC, healed up, and just be able to, trace our wounds and just prepare for this fight. Honestly, we've fought him before in our other White 2 run, so we know what to expect. So we take out the bird, no problem, and we just go for the neutral surf, get the flinch, really good stuff, and Simisage doesn't flinch on that one, so he gets a crucial stab Seed Bomb. I think we would have died if that crit, which is really scary, but Simisage is a very deceptive Pokemon. It's super fast, super strong on both the special attack and physical attack as well. So thankfully it goes for the Fury Swipes, and because Stomp didn't kill there, and that could have been another Riolu moment where, oh my gosh, I thought I had it in the bag, and then they live with 1 HP, and then you end up paying the price. So if it went Seed Bomb, I think we would have just lost Angela the Zebra. So thankfully lucking out there, get a little chip off the top coming off of the Hyper Potion here, but now we get a stab Acrobatics from the Flying Chipmunk, which you just love to see. We outspeed the Furry Grass Monkey, and that just leaves Durza versus the Samurott, the starter of Hugh, looking fantastic, level 41, built and ready to go. But the Spark does come down, stab super effective. Not the highest damage move, but all we have to do is tank a Slash, and now we go to the higher damaging move, Volt Switch, and fade away. The little Chipmunk flies off into the sunset. Hugh is defeated, and we don't lose any Pokemon. For our Route 13 first encounter, it is the Drifblim, the big old blimp here. Throw the Dust Ball and secure it. For our Burbank City encounter, it is the Alomomola. Looks like an upgraded Love Disc. Chuck the Dusk Ball and secure it. Then for our Undella Town encounter, it is going to be the Frillish. Unfortunately, it is the pink one, not the blue one. The pink one just looks so much worse than the blue one, but that's okay. We'll take the encounter, chuck the Dust Ball, and secure it. For our Undella Bay encounter, it is the Mantike. Chuck the Dust Ball and secure yet another Pokemon. And then for our Route 14 encounter, it is the Basculin. This is actually a super important encounter since we're going to want a Lapras later, and we needed to secure a Basculin before we got to where we can get a Lapras. So stay tuned for that. For our Route 12 encounter, it is going to be the Rosalia, but at what cost? As the Crocodile tanks a stab, super effective Petal Dance, and Arya clings to life with 6 HP to her name. I'll just fast forward here and get to where we actually catch the Rosalia. After Rosalia almost kills himself in confusion there, we were able to chip him all the way down, chuck the Ultra Ball, and secure yet another first encounter. And then it all comes down to Route 11 here. I absolutely needed this Azumarill encounter in order to eliminate any confusion when it came to the Lapras encounter under the village bridge. But now we have the Basculin secured, we have the Azumarill secured, so now the only Pokemon that can show up under the bridge is going to be the Lapras. Let's do it. And that leads us to the Lapras encounter under Village Bridge, chuck the Dusk Ball, and secure my absolutely favorite Pokemon. Not just my favorite water or ice type. Lapras is my number one, and I'm so happy to add it to the run. Let's do it. And then our Route 9 encounter, it is going to be the Gothorita here. Unfortunately, it's going to end up with the Adamant Nature, making it not as good as it could have been, but we will take it, chuck the Pokeball, and secure the final first encounter before the 7th gym battle. All right, we have arrived at the 7th gym, taking on Drayden and his Dragon-type Pokemon. Because we got the Lapras encounter, I think this is going to go very smoothly. We do have some other Pokemon in the back in case we need to pivot to them if things go wrong, but really this is going to be Lapras versus the world. We've got Oramus right here, and he's got the Expert Belt, as well as a buffed up special attack nature, and these ice beams are just going to do absolute wonders. Then we kind of have another Lapras in a sense with the Vaporeon, and I'm just really digging this team right now. The team for the 8th gym battle is going to be a lot different since we're going to need more grass and electric type going into that, but for this one it really is just Lapras, maybe a little bit of Vaporeon as well, but Lapras has shell armor, so no critical hits. We don't have to worry about that. However, because we're so slow on the Lapras, we just have to watch out for the enemy ramping up with like Swords Dance, because if it gets +2 attack, it might be able just to snipe from that range anyway. So that's really the only concern, is if Lapras takes a lot of damage against one of these Pokemon, he might not be able to sweep the other two, basically. But if they can get greedy for some setup, we might be able just to walk away scot-free. So Druddigon comes down versus our Lapras, the Loch Ness Monster himself. And let's go ahead and give him a hug. And Oramus is actually faster than the Druddigon. That is disgusting. That is a negative speed nature, and we still... He probably used Dragon Tail. That's actually probably what happened there, the reverse priority. So because he used Dragon Tail, no matter what we did, we were going to go first. So that's probably the case there. The Flygon comes down, and we've already cleared the first Pokemon. Let's go ahead and clear the second. As long as we don't flinch, we are looking beautiful. No flinch. No flinch. Come on, Oramus. Yes, you can. Beautiful stuff. The very cool dragon Pokemon is going to have to fall here. That's a 4-time super effective. And if we one-shot the Druddigon, I'm feeling pretty good about the Haxorus as well. And this is it. I think if Haxorus just rolls a dual chop, I don't think that would kill from this range, but he can definitely go for it all. Maybe this one doesn't have dual chop. I don't have the moveset with me, but it really doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure he's just going to go for the Dragon Dance. Yes, he does. We're just going to fade away with an Ice Beam. This should one-shot with the Expert Belt intact here. And this Lapras just completely flexing on Drayden. This is disgusting. And let's see if Haxorus can withstand a stab. Ice Beam, no, we cannot. Beautiful stuff. And we get a fadeaway critical, of course. And that's it. We only have one gym battle left, a bunch of Team Plasma with Getsis and Colress, and then the Elite Four. Really looking forward to this. And as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.